Good evening. Thank you all for being here. I know it's cold. You've been out here quite a bit. Appreciate your patience. Again, on behalf of all the citizens of Howard County, I want to extend our deepest condolences to the family members and loved ones of the victims in this senseless act that we saw yesterday. I also want to again thank the brave men and women who showed their heroism by rushing into a very dangerous scene. Our men and women in our law enforcement family, we've talked about them. I also want to thank, this is a big law enforcement family, and from the dispatchers who calmly took the first 911 calls to our men and women in the fire department, the hospital. Really proud of the coordinated effort. And again, I want to thank the state police, many state and federal agencies, and our neighboring partners as well. I also want to thank the public for being so patient. The mall's been closed obviously now a second day. It's disrupted a lot of people's lives, but the outpouring of compassion that we've seen in this community, both yesterday here at the mall with neighbors grabbing neighbors and kids and sheltering people and doing the things that loving members of the same community do, was really heartening to see. Tomorrow, the mall will reopen. The mall will be open at 1 o'clock. I want to thank the mall for their diligence, their partnership, working collaboratively with us, both through the investigative effort and just in dealing with us to get open as quickly as possible. There will be 2 memorial sites, so the public is welcome to be involved in that, starting at 1 o'clock. One outside the entrance by the Starbucks near Sears, by the fountain. Another one inside the mall in Center Court by Lord & Taylor. But again, the mall will open at 1. I know I will be here having lunch at the food court. We may never quite be back to 100% normal, but we are a resilient community that will be back shopping and eating at the Columbia Mall tomorrow. So again, thank you for your patience, and I want to bring up our Chief of Police, Bill McMahon, who's done a tremendous job in a very tough situation. Bill?
I'll update you on a couple things, and then I'll take a few questions. Our investigators today have been busy trying to learn more about why this situation occurred. They attended 3 autopsies. They have spent a considerable amount of time interviewing families, friends, and associates of both our victims and our shooter. At this point, I know this is a question that is on the top of everybody's mind. You know, what is the motive, and is there any relationship between the victim and our shooter? At this point, we still have more work to do. We still have more interviews to do. We have no known relationship between the victims and our shooters. And I would just say this for a moment. There's still, and I addressed this before, there's still speculation out there that there was somehow some romantic involvement involving this. We have not been able to establish that. And I'm not sure where that information is coming from. And it's becoming very frustrating for the families of our victims to continue to hear this. So I'd encourage you to report what we are providing, not other speculation you may hear. So I appreciate it. I know the families are appreciating that as well. There's also been a lot of interest expressed in us releasing a picture of our shooter. In this case, he has no criminal record. We don't possess a picture of him. We however, have worked, and after this briefing, we'll be releasing a Motor Vehicle Administration picture to you, and Sherry will arrange getting that to you. We also know, and it's been reported, the existence of a journal that the shooter had. As I mentioned earlier today, we did serve a search and seizure warrant at our shooter's house. We did retrieve documents as well as computers and other evidence. We are working through those. There is a journal. He does express some general unhappiness with his life, but I really don't have any other information about that now. That's something we're going to continue to work through tonight and the days ahead. I know there's a lot of interest in the motive for this, and I have as much interest in that as anybody. And so I appreciate the frustration that we haven't been able to provide that, but our goal is to be able to provide you as accurate information as possible. That continues to be our goal. So again, no known relationship between our shooter and our victims. We're continuing to look for that motive. That's where our focus will be, and has continued to be for the last several days, and we'll continue that into the future. In terms of the mall, we have had a strong presence around the mall since the shooting occurred. We have been working with mall management to ensure that patrons who left personal belongings in the common areas of the mall were able to retrieve that. We've been assisting with that process. We've also provided grief counselors from our victim assistance unit, as well as our partnership with the mobile crisis team here in Howard County. We have also assisted the mall in getting the tenants, store owners, back into the mall so that they can get their businesses ready to reopen. And again, there's no criminal history as an adult, and I have no information about any of the other information you asked.
What about the gun?
Give us sort of a sense of a timeline. We're really trying to work through, we know he got here at 10:15, but then there was he was here for an hour, and we were just trying to get exactly sort of what the steps were through the.
I'll say the same thing I said at the earlier briefing. We know he came here at 10:15. We have him on video. We know the shooting took place at 11:15. We know from the video that he was in a very confined area of the mall, both upstairs and downstairs, but generally from the store and down by the.
Did he target that store? I mean, he went there, he shot. He had a lot of ammo.
That's a frustrating question I can't answer right now. We just don't know.
In terms of his relationship with the victims, are you focusing on the female victim because she lived so close to him in College Park rather than the male victim who lived way the hell?
We are focusing on any potential relationship, not one victim over the other.
Hey, Chief, have you ruled out the possibility, Chief, that there was some type of knowledge of them? Have you ruled it out, or are you still looking at that? Or
so have we ruled out?
Have you ruled out the possibility that there was some type of connection between the three? Or
we have not ruled that out. What we're telling you in our continuing effort to provide you as much information as we can, as quickly and as accurately, that so far, our investigation, our interviews, the other things that we've done, has not shown that relationship. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist.
Chief, do you know if he had visited that store before?
I do not know that.
Did he buy the weapon legally?
To our knowledge, he did buy the weapon legally earlier in December. Thank you all. We'll continue to be tuning into Twitter and Facebook, and we'll provide as much information as we can. Thanks for your understanding and patience. And our thoughts and our prayers are with the victims and their families. It's a terrible thing that these families are going through right now. So